So Joe, I'm wondering if you want to make more decisions in your life. Tell me with your voice or touch my hand. Do you want to make more decisions in your life? I see your smile. Do you think it's important for people to be able, especially young people like you, to be able to make decisions about what's going to happen in their life after high school? What's going to happen in their life in general? To be more adult? Do you think that's important? Can you tell me with your voice or touch my hand? What do you think? Is it important? Yes. Do you think you get to make decisions? Are you given the opportunity personally to make decisions about your life? Tell me with your voice or touch my hand. Yes. Do you think we should give you more opportunities to make choices about your life? Yes. Do you wish that other people besides me were there to help you? People besides your parents were there to help you? Do you think that's helpful? Yes. Yeah, so transition planning. Yeah. I mean, transition planning looks different for different people. For Joe, there are quite a few decisions and plans that need to be made. And it's overwhelming no matter what. If you're planning to go to college after high school, that's huge. That's a big transition. If you are suddenly responsible for a person with a disability in your life because your parents have died or the caregivers have passed away, that's a big transition. If you yourself are aging and you're thinking about what can I do for myself so my children aren't burdened? There's so many different kinds of transitions, and every single one of them can feel overwhelming. My child is going to start kindergarten. I mean, they all feel overwhelming and confusing, and there's questions and things that keep you up worried at night. And maybe, like Joe, some of the answers are not just yes or no answers. They're much more complex. And Joe has to really work with me to come to an agreement about what he needs. I have to ask good questions, and he has to be a careful listener and help guide me to where he wants to go. But Joe definitely, even though he may be nonverbal and seem like there's not a lot going on there, Joe really wants as much independence as he can have. And our goal is to help him get that independence. So what happens when you're faced with a transition? Well, I think the most important thing you can do is to start looking around for who is your network of support. You need a coach. You may need more than one coach, but the best thing to do when you start feeling overwhelmed is to consider who could my coaches be for this area. The benefits of having a coach: accountability. A coach is going to watch your performance, track how you're doing on your goals, show you where things are going well, and help you when you're stuck. That's what a good coach does. They don't do it for you. They help you accomplish your goals. They're a listening ear. So let's use the example of losing weight. So the accountability piece, maybe the coach has you weigh yourself every week, and that's an obvious way to track whether you're being successful or not. The listening ear is the part where you tell the coach, I was invited to a birthday party. I was too embarrassed not to have a piece of cake with everyone, so I ate cake and I blew my diet, and then I went home and ate a whole bag of potato chips because I figured, what the heck, I blew my diet anyway. The listening ear coach just listens. They take in everything you're saying, and then they're a sounding board to maybe help you figure out how to go to a birthday party next month and not blow your diet. So those are the benefits of having a coach. Also, one that I guess I didn't put on this piece of paper is that generally you seek out a coach who has knowledge in the area that you are looking for help in. So they also have a level of expertise. So if you're talking about a transition plan for a person with a disability, these are the areas that a coach would really help you. So your household maintenance, everyday daily living, financial, government services, medical, social, emotional, education, and employment. These are all the areas of transition that we consider when we're coming up with a plan. This is exciting, isn't it? Did you really just yawn? Are you bored or are you just tired? I'm not going to mess with him. I can't help myself sometimes. So when you're talking about household, that's more things that we call in transition planning direct support. So that would be like a caregiver or somebody who comes to your home to help with housekeeping, to help you with hygiene. This is for people who have, impairments which, limit them physically to do certain things for themselves. A direct support person can help you arrange your calendar. They can, help you with projects around your house, help you with all different kinds of direct things that happen in your home. So a direct support person is probably your fast track to a coach for your daily living. Doesn't have to be a paid person. Could be friends, somebody to help you come over and teach you how to cook a meal or use the microwave. That could be a family friend or a family member. But a direct support person, that's their job. And a direct support person is specifically for someone with a disability. And we've talked about how to go about getting one of those. If you have questions about that, reach out to us and we'll point you in the right direction. Financial. So if you get government services like Social Security, there's a benefits navigator. So you look that up in your state, you Google benefits navigator for Social Security or go to the Social Security website and you'll find that. What a benefits navigator does is they help you with working and how to deal with your Social Security benefits, how to keep them, how to have a job and not lose your benefits. A financial advisor. If you don't have a government program and you just want someone to help, or whether you do or you don't, you just want someone to help you with budgeting. A financial advisor doesn't have to be a formal person who works in an office somewhere. It could be a family friend, or it could be a trusted person who, you know, maybe if they offer, or maybe if you just kind of say, I don't even know how to balance my checkbook. Often people will just chip in because they want to help. I have helped a young man in our community apply for a grant to help get his heating system fixed. This was years ago, but I mean, I was his coach. I helped him fill out the paperwork. I showed him what to do, and he did the work, and, you know, lo and behold, he got a grant. So a financial advisor is someone who can look at your money and help you figure out what you need to do. If you're spending too much, if you have credit card debt, there's services that can help you with that. It's somebody who isn't directly emotionally attached to the problem, and they can step back and look at the problem and help you fix it and help you not feel so overwhelmed. That's a helper. So it doesn't have to be a professional person, even though when you think about money, like I go to a dear friend who is a tax preparer because I get so overwhelmed with taxes. She's my coach, and I just appreciate her so much. So, I mean, you know, this is what I'm saying. Coaches don't necessarily have to be professionals, but it's somebody you trust, somebody who you know knows their stuff, and somebody who can help you, you know, kind of take one piece at a time. So a big problem doesn't look as big. Government services. Now, if you do have a comp or now waiver or any kind of government program that provides services for you as a person with a disability, you are going to have a case manager. That comes with the program. With a now or comp waiver, you also have a person called a support coordinator. And they help you with your budget. They help you with getting your plan, your ISP for your now and comp waiver ready. They are there to answer questions and help direct you. They are definitely a coach. And then ask a friend. Do you know somebody who has Medicaid? Do you know somebody who has a child with disabilities, maybe who gets a Katie Beckett waiver, or something you've heard of, but you don't know anything about it? Maybe your child has just received a diagnosis and you don't know where to start, but you know you want government services. Find a friend to give you some advice and coach you, get you going the right direction. Medical. So there's lots of organizations that have really great advice on medical transition from pediatric to adult services. ARC.org has a fabulous future planning tool that has all different areas of transition plan recommendations, forms, resources, and medical is a big part of that. Joe and I are going through that process right now, trying to establish his medical team of adult doctors and transition him from pediatric to adult. That's a big job. It's a big, important part of a person's transition plan when they, especially someone who has disabilities. Parent to Parent of Georgia. They have some transition planning tools for medical home, and they actually have people who can help you one-on-one. They definitely have coaches available. And then ask your doctor. The last time we went to Joe's physiatrist, he's a rehab doctor, he gave us a list of resources. Unfortunately, we live up in the mountains, out in the rural part of Georgia, and all of the resources they gave us were Atlanta-based. So it's helpful. It kind of gave me some Google searches to look at, but it wasn't exactly what we needed. And that's another thing about a coach. Sometimes if the coach isn't exactly giving you the information you need, don't get frustrated about that. Just move forward. It's all about moving forward and meeting your goals. So, trust your coach, but if they disappoint you, don't let that, despair keep you from working on that particular area of your transition plan. Look for another coach. Social, clubs. What kind of, are you involved in a club? If you're still in school, join a club. If you're not in school, or if you are in school, there's tons of online groups and organizations that meet in Zoom meetings. Joe goes to a weekly Zoom meeting with a group called Uniting for Change, and it's people with disabilities, and they get together and they have a weekly Zoom meeting and they just socialize, and it's great. Something like that. You might find coaches on things that you're working on within those groups. Maybe something comes up in conversation that's something that is a goal of yours, and you can buddy up with somebody from that group and help each other. That's the wonder of social experiences. And then people from church, school, or your work. Many times our social connections are made from places that we go regularly. Church, school every day, work every day. That's a resource for finding a coach for things. Maybe you want to start dating, or maybe you want to get to know someone, and that person has a connection with both of you, the person you're interested in getting to know and you, and they can help coach you on, maybe how to break the ice, or how to dress for that first date, or, it just kind of helps you feel like what you dream of could be real. That's another job of a coach. Help you find the steps to make something that you dream about get a little closer within your reach. Emotional. Professional counselors and therapists, many of them now offer telehealth. Our school district has in-house counseling services now. COVID has really shone the light on the need for mental health services, particularly for people with disabilities that are hidden or obvious. And so the services for emotional support have become so much more easy to access, and there's so much less stigma around going to get counseling now than there used to be. Education. Your school case manager, if you have an individual education plan, an IEP, because you receive special education services for your child at school, they will have a case manager. That person is the one who sets up the annual review for your IEP. They're kind of your go-to person for making decisions about graduation? How long will I be in school? Things like that. And you know, your transition plan relating to education is in the IEP, so you have a lot of in-house coaches for that. You don't really need to search them out. They are already there for you. If you go to a post-secondary program like a college or a technical school, there's a disability resource center or something like that. It's called something like that, disability services. That person can be your education coach to help you get accommodations based on your disability if you need them. They might have advice on college services or post-secondary program services like we were talking about, like if you need counseling, if you need medical assistance or ongoing support for a condition while you're at school. I mean, that person can help you with those things. If your school district is in Georgia and you have a parent mentor, the Georgia Parent Mentor Partnership is a great resource for coaches, particularly relating to school, because parent mentors help families be more engaged and involved in their child's education, because we know that when you're involved in your child's education, the outcome for your child will be much better. So parent mentor, look and see, go to parentmentors.org and see if your district has a parent mentor, and if you want help with transition planning or any education related thing, they are there to serve you. Employment. Voc Rehab is the federal agency that does work assistance and training and support for people with disabilities. And they really are a great resource for you if you have a disability and you're trying, whether you're trying to get your first job or keep your job after the onset of a disability. They can help with all kinds of employment support. So now you have an idea of where to get a coach, how to find a coach, what the benefits of coaching is. So what are some next steps? What are some concrete things you can do to work on finding some coaches to get you where you want to go? First thing you're going to do is commit. Commit to this goal of finding some coaches. And when you find that coach, commit to working on the goals. Make a mutual commitment. If they're giving of their time and energy for you, then you kind of have a commitment to them to try to do things. Not to say there won't be problems and you won't be discouraged, but they're coaching you. That's okay. Track your progress. Don't expect your coach to track your progress. You track your progress. Did you meet the goal or not? Why didn't you meet the goal? Maybe you changed the goal. Why did you need to change the goal? Track your progress. Celebrate accomplishments. I can't say this enough. I really should put this on every page. Celebrate your accomplishments, even tiny ones. Every time Joe answers a question, I celebrate. I celebrate. Sometimes I tell him, thank you for answering my question. Internally, though, you can't see it. I'm going, yay. Celebrate accomplishments. And don't let the hurdles stop you. There's gonna be hurdles. There's always hurdles. If transition planning were easy, we wouldn't be doing a series about it. So good luck finding your coach. I try to coach. I'm trying to coach you now. Consider me one of your coaches. If you have any questions, please reach out to us on Facebook. Go to our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays with Jane and Joe. Reach out. transition2s@gmail.com. You can send us a postcard, P.O. Box 802, Sawtee, Georgia 30571. We would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, we would love to hear them. See you next time.